The great Frederick Douglass said, "If there is no struggle, there is no progress." Maybe that's why Black America has been losing ground, especially in the last 4 years. Glenn Ford says, "If you demand nothing, you get nothing."
We at Black Agenda Report coined the term Black Misleadership Class to describe those who claim to fight for the interests of African Americans, but really don't represent anyone except their own narrow little class. This Black Misleadership Class is very much concerned with seeing its members get ahead in business and politics, but their real fixation is power. They want to be near people in power and useful to those who have real power in society. In that sense, they are more like power groupies than leaders. They treasure meetings at the White House so that everyone will see them as having access to power, but they wield no power themselves. And if they ever did get a taste of power, they would never use it to benefit the masses of black folks. That's why the Black Misleadership Class has no political agenda beyond the symbolism of seeing black faces in high places. For them, that's what politics is all about, symbolism and proximity to power. Since they believe in nothing, the Misleadership Class has great difficulties formulating demands, except, of course, politely requesting that more members of their class be appointed to high positions. And since 2008, they have shown themselves to be totally incapable of making even the most modest request of power. In fact, it has been so long since the Black Misleadership Class made any substantial demands of power, they appear to have forgotten how. Last month, the NAACP, the Urban League, Al Sharpton, and an assortment of other self-appointed leaders met behind closed doors for 4 hours and came up with a bunch of bland generalities on education, voting rights, healthcare, the economy, and the criminal justice system. Nothing even remotely resembling the beginnings of demands, just a list of talking points that sounded like it came straight out of Barack Obama's White House, and probably did. That's how the Black Misleadership Class plans to waste the next 4 years, pretending to be getting ready to finally make some demands or even rev up a movement, but never quite getting around to it. They are absolutely useless. And so, we at Black Agenda Report have decided it's time to coin a new term, the February 30th Movement. The February 30th Movement is the brainchild of our poet-in-residence, Raymond Nat Turner. Of course, there is no such day as February 30th, and so the February 30th Movement never comes. Just as the time will never come when the NAACP, the Urban League, and Al Sharpton and the rest of the Black Misleadership Class will actually confront the first black president of the United States. They will posture and hold periodic meetings to bemoan how African Americans have been set back generations in the last 4 years, but they will not speak truth to power. Malcolm X was quite familiar with false black leaders and their phony movements. He described them as Negroes of national stature that never incited or excited you. They controlled you, they contained you, they kept you on the plantation. 50 years later, they are still with us, still promising to put together a real movement for social change when February 30th rolls around.